What's going on, guys? This is Chandler Smith, and if you follow the channel, you know that I have owned a lot of cars. However, I decided to make this video to share with you what I believe to be the best all-around car that you could ever own. So with all of that being said, let's jump into it. All right, guys, before we take you right out that door and share with you my favorite car of all time and the car that I believe is the best bang for your buck car in existence, I kind of just want to take a blast through the past of all of the cars I've had the opportunity of owning. First off, I started with the Tesla Model 3.
Go dummy, go beast, oh no. I go beast, go deep, I OD, oh no. I OD, apply pressure, put heat, oh no. Put that 500 degrees, oh no.
I then upgraded to the C8 Corvette.
I need my hands, this life is real, if they pretend, came off the bench, I get it in, I get it in, I get it in, and for my wins, I need my hands, this life is
I then snagged the Ferrari 458 Spider. I then purchased the Porsche Taycan.
add it up, bankroll, euro, peso, add it up, I'm just doing me, everything is on me, oh you matter what, add it up, bankroll.
Then I got the Tesla Plaid. Then it was the Lamborghini Huracan Evo. After that, I picked up the Porsche GT3. I also have had the opportunity to drive McLarens, multiple Porsches, multiple Ferraris, multiple Lamborghinis, and a myriad of other cars on regular roads and on the track. And that's why after driving all of these cars, I feel like it's okay for me to have a pretty educated opinion on what I believe to be the best all-around car. Now, the only trick with saying this is the best all-around car is obviously it depends on what you're doing. For this video, I'm gonna share with you what I believe to be the best daily driver car. And now that we've covered all of that, let's jump into it. But before we do, all that I ask you to do is remember to smash the like button, subscribe to the channel, and hit the little bell. And now let's go outside and I'm gonna share with you my favorite car of all time. All right, guys, that was kind of a dramatic intro. Every single day I wake up and I get to choose between the GT3, the Lamborghini, the Raptor, and the Porsche Taycan. And it's been very interesting to see with all of these in my garage, almost every single day I choose the Taycan. However, I parked right here. That's a terrible intro to the car. We got a windy day, but I wanna kind of walk you through some of the things that I think are so incredible about the exterior of this car. If you look, just the detail, I mean, a lot of people don't like chrome wheels. I love these wheels. I think there's such an elevated feel. Look at the little intricacies and detail that Porsche does on literally everything, even to the detail down here. I truly believe this car has more of a presence on the road than any other sedan out there. I mean, you find another car that's got 2 front seats and 2 back seats, a full trunk for 3 set of golf clubs that looks this beautiful. Porsche, in my opinion, is a little bit of an acquired taste. And what I mean by that is lots of people see a Porsche and they all look the same to them. But one thing I loved about this car is it looks so much different than all of the other Porsches that are on the road. And I love the look, especially of the front of this car. I just think it is absolutely beautiful. Now, another really cool thing that's unique about this car is you've got the full glass top, which to my knowledge, I don't know if there are any others that have that. There could be. I know my GT3 doesn't have that, and for this car, it really is cool. The other thing is, I don't know if you noticed, I'll show you again, but when you walk up to the car, these pop out, and I just think that's a really cool finish. Let's take you inside here and show you a couple things. Every little detail of these seats, in my mind, is just beautiful. I mean, especially looking up here where the back is, I mean, look at the finish detail on back seats for a sedan. It just is so, so nice. You've got a screen back here. So when you're in the back, you've got all of your temperature. You also have some really convenient plugs right here for your phone. And I don't know, for me, this is such a beautiful finish on a car, and there is a ton of room, and this is with my seat back quite a ways, but it's just a really, really comfortable car. And so when you've got 4 people and you're going out for a drive, this is the car to be in. And so for me, interior wise, no other car do I think compares to this when it comes to a sedan. And I want you to get the shot right here, Caden. Look from the back seat at how nice the interior of this car looks. All right, guys, now we get to do my favorite part of driving this car, and that is the actual driving. And this is probably the #1 reason that every day when I come out and look at all the different cars, I pick this one. Because the interior, the tech, all of that is pretty fantastic, at least when you're comparing this to comparable performance cars. Now, when you think about a Tesla, the tech on a Tesla is great, but the performance does not touch this car. And the performance isn't just your acceleration. Your acceleration on this car is absolutely incredible, and we're gonna show you that. But the overall handling experience for this car to be as heavy as it is, yet handle turns and corners and accelerating and stopping and all of that the way that it does, it is just mind-boggling. Porsche is known for their sound. And if you look, this is obviously an electric car. There are 3 modes. There's normal, sport, and sport plus. If you listen in Sport Plus, oh, sorry, Caden, you can hear the power of the car, and it's this really cool electric rumble where when you're in normal mode, you don't hear anything. Up here, I wanted to show you the 0 to 60 on this car. The handling, the stopping, the turning, the accelerating, everything about this car is just a completely different experience. And that's after having owned a Tesla Plaid, a GT3, a Lamborghini Huracan, and this can be my daily driver. It has 4 seats in the back. It's just absolutely incredible. And that's why this car is my all-time favorite car. And I already called Porsche, the same dealership I bought this car from and that I bought my GT3, and I told them, look, the second that this car comes out with a newer version, I want this exact same car on order, but I want the Turbo S so I can have the full acceleration because there's one even faster than this. Having an electric car with this handling and 4 seats, I'm gonna say that over and over, but just everything that this car provides for a car enthusiast like me. I know people are gonna say, Chandler, but the sound and an engine, I know, but the driving experience and the animal that this is on the roads is just something like I've never experienced with any other car, and that's why I love it. And it's got 4 seats. It's a daily driver. It's nice interior. It's got all of these things. And yet you come and hit corners out in the country and I'm just mind blown. So we've got them, we've got the A-OK up the road, and we're gonna take this for a little spin. So, you ready? You weren't ready. I swear to you, this car could do those corners 30, 40 miles an hour faster. It is absolutely insane to me. All right, guys, we're going to first start in normal mode so that you can hear me. The sound that comes, it's not bad, but it's aggressive and it's really cool. And that's one thing that's cool about Porsche is they're known for the sound, and they've found a way to do that with their electric cars as well, which I absolutely love. But when you look in the interior, I love how simple this is. I love all of these screens. It's super user-friendly. I love the Bluetooth. I love the speakers. The speakers are incredible. I love listening to music in here. I love having phone conversations. And it's funny, my wife gives me a hard time, but from when I got this car, I started not going into the office and not working at home. I literally would do all of my phone calls just out driving. A lot of times I'm not a screen fan, but everything here is super user-friendly when it comes to turning things up and down, when it comes to doing the temperature up and down, when it comes to my heated seats, when it comes to my cooled seats, when it comes to the Bluetooth linking up, it's been very smooth. I love that I've got volume here. I love that my signals aren't in a different place. I love that changing from normal to Sport Plus to range. Other thing, if you look on here, you've got all of these modes. Now individually, you can kind of fine tune it to what you want it to be, but the Sport Plus is the most aggressive. That's where you hear the sound the most. You've got Sport, Normal, and Range. On the range, it limits how fast you can go and does a couple other things. That's another big question that a lot of people ask me is, Chandler, what about the range of this car? It's not super big. I think it says like 220 or 250 miles. I don't really pay attention to it because I just use this car as a daily driver and I'm never going further than that. Now, if I was gonna do a road trip, I might have some negative things to say about this car. I just don't use it as my road trip car. I use it as my daily driver in it, going to work, going to business meetings, going to check in on properties, anywhere in town. It's awesome. I've taken it lots of times where I won't charge it for a couple days and I've got 100 miles left, and it's very true to what it says it can do. The other thing that a lot of people have asked is, Chandler, how does it do in the winter? The battery on this is way better than it was on my Model 3 as far as retaining battery in cold temperatures, and the way this handles on snow is absolutely incredible. I was blown away because I have sport tires on here, and so I should have better tires, but they performed great in the snow this year. The only exception to that is when you're stopping, and that's not really a performance or a motor thing. That is a tire thing, right? This is a very heavy car, and that's one thing you've got to take into consideration is if you are needing to stop quickly on ice or snow, you've got to make sure that you get the right tires on here. That's something I'm not going to complain about because literally everything about this car I've loved. Again, if you're going on road trips, that's the one point where I could see someone might say something negative about this car. I'm not going to run you through all of this, but there's so many options here, and it really is so simple for adjusting all of your different drive modes, for looking at your battery life, and it really is user-friendly, and I've loved the tech behind this car, and it just is such an elevated approach, even when you're listening to music or doing those things that I really feel like a lot of other high-end cars are missing that this has. And that's what's crazy is if you are someone that is looking for a sports car that will turn heads, a car that will give you an incredible driver experience, a car with 4 seats, I just don't see how any car comes anywhere close to competing with this unless you're looking at a Tesla. And when it comes to the finishes and the handling on a Tesla, you're not going to get anywhere close to the experience that this car gives you. All right, guys, that is the video. When it comes to my all-time favorite car as a daily driver, just an all-around beast, this is it. And if it ever gets dethroned by a car that I purchase, I'll let you know. But as of right now, this is a car that I do not plan selling anytime soon. And I found myself in an interesting situation because I don't want to sell this car, I don't want to sell the GT3, and I don't want to sell the Lambo. And so I don't know, these might be the 3 cars until I can afford to buy add-ons rather than selling and buying, because I love all of these cars, but every day when I've got to choose a daily driver, this is the car I end up in. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this video, and we'll look forward to seeing you in the future videos. Thanks guys, have a great day.